Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live here this morning. And good to be on with you. And we sure appreciate people coming on live. I mean, if not, we also appreciate those people are listening to the Doctor is In podcast. And we thank you for making that such a popular program. And Brahim, numero uno again today, and how are you? And Eric, how are you? From Ottawa. Andrea, from the Kidneys of Canada. Niagara Falls, we appreciate you guys. Bill, how are you? And Nick from our staff. And Lori Lee, Ventura, California. Mary, Norwich. And Nellie, good morning. Nellie, you say I miss you all the time. I got you this morning. Judy and Wendy from Markham. And Crystal, good morning. Carolyn from Edmonton, Alberta. Joyce, Kansas. Rose, good morning. Fran from Orangeville. Sherry, Mississauga. Keith, how are you, my friend? And Sandy, where did I go? I don't know. Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Barbara from Kansas. Yolande, bonjour. Marlene, good morning. And Catherine from Newfoundland. April, good morning. And Vera, Newfoundland. And Joanne, having her coffee. Isn't that a great idea? Karen. And Francis from Vaughan. Dale, how are you? Susan from Edmonton. Kevin, there he is. And Evangeline, how are you? And Doug from St. Thomas. And Tina, Nova Scotia. Beverly, good morning to you. And Tracy, how are you? And Rita, nice to have you on this morning. And Diane from Thunder Bay. A couple more. Guylaine from Hearst, Ontario. Maria from Ottawa. Eva, sorry. Nick. Nicole, how are you? Carol Ann from Moncton, New Brunswick. Tina. Gail, how are you? Mary. Okay. And Ashley. Guys, how do you like my sign? behind Cheryl, Annette, okay? And little studio, I actually got a mic on, okay? Where is it? Right about here. I'll show it to you. And Yolande reminded me yesterday that I don't need a mic. Wherever I go, I don't need a mic. I got a built-in microphone, as my son says, a built-in microphone right in my throat. But for the sound of the podcast and that, we're always trying to do a little bit more improvement. And so do you like my sign? You didn't say so. Back up a little close. Love it? Okay, what do you mean? Am I too close to you guys? You want me back here? Or do you want me up here? Okay, thanks for the feedback, guys. Okay, so what we're doing today, okay? And Kathy, how are you? And Faye, you're giving me the thumbs up. So I feel comfortable right here. But you guys tell me. I mean, you got to give me the feedback. Okay. So pro. I like that. For a senior. Guys, you guys are so much fun. Okay, now, we are going to do part 2 today of Fit as a Fiddle. Okay? Again, reading an article, and it said fit as a fiddle in the 1970s. Well, you know what? Like I said, I put a little asterisk besides that because people in the 1970s, they might have been more fit than we are today, and certainly there was not 93% of the population that had metabolic syndrome. That's for sure. But, they did a lot of smoking in those days. And, I don't think they did as much exercise as we do. My dad started jogging in 1968. 1968, my dad started jogging. The only running that people did in the 60s is when they were running away from the police. Okay, but my dad started, and he didn't call it jogging, because that wasn't even, he just said, I'm running. Because the day that my dad found out that he was a diabetic, the next day he started running and getting into shape. You see what I lived through? I watched that. And I love my dad so much. And I mean that. I mean, my dad was my hero. That about a month after he started running, I said, Dad, you wake me up before school. I was in high school, and I'll start running with you. I want to go with you. And my dad and I, we would jog together. Father and son. You didn't think they called me Tony Jr. for nothing, right? I just love being around my dad. Anywho. So in the 70s, people didn't exercise as much. There's a lot of people today that are into exercise, vitamin E, the real vitamin E, by the way. And you know how much we love that. Sun, steak, and steel. Okay? And we tell you what kind of exercise is the best. And, there's good, better, best. Good, walking. Okay? I don't know if better is jogging. Any exercise is good, but the best exercise is building muscle. Okay? And muscle on your body is one of the best things that you can do metabolically for yourself. And we do a lot of teaching on the importance of building muscle. Okay? Got it? Okay. Now let's get back to Fit as a Fiddle in the 1970s and what has happened since then. Yesterday, we spent a fair amount of time talking about the first two. One, meds. What happened to medicine since the 1970s? It's been hijacked. No teaching of nutrition. And it's all into management. Management of disease. Now look, if you have a disease, okay. If you have an infection, no problem. You get in a car accident, you want a doctor. You want a surgeon. That's what they're good at. But what I'm talking about generally for our health is that medicine got hijacked. And it got hijacked because now they're into management and big pharma hijacked them. They pay for all their research and they run the show. And doctors today, if you've got trouble with high blood pressure, they're going to give you medication. Now, again, I'm not telling you that medication is no good. I'm just saying, okay, what caused high blood pressure? If you have acid reflux, they give you a med. They give you a medication. Okay, but why do you have acid reflux? Don't you think it would be better to get to the root of the problem? But they want to manage it. So, I'm going to lower your blood pressure by meds. You're going to stay on those meds forever. Well, there's legion of side effects to that. But again, I'm just talking in generalities. And doctors today, generally, are glorified pharmacists in a lot of ways. And it's too bad. But that's the way it is. Okay? Now, Okay? So we talked about fat. The whole idea that cholesterol is the boogeyman. Okay? Cholesterol is the boogeyman, and that took over society. That took over dietitians. That took over physicians. That took over the mainstream media. That took over the food companies. And cholesterol bad. Fat is bad. Fat makes you fat. Cholesterol only comes from animal eggs, meat, and cheese. Okay? And that got vilified. And another fat. Okay? It was 6 versus 3. Okay, what am I talking about? Well, they came up with another fat. Okay? They came up with another fat. And it was made in the lab. And man thought they were smart. Crisco. And then all these, they found out they can make an oil, man-made, chemically induced, like it's unreal. The process to make seed oil. So when you see on the shelves of your grocery store, canola oil and soy oil and rapeseed and all those oils that are there, clear oils, they've gone through a process of about 15 different steps. They are PUFAs, polyunsaturated fatty acids. You see, in the world's thinking, unsaturated fat is the best fat. Well, that's not true. That's not true. So what happened in the world is omega-6 went way up compared to omega-3. Okay? And that disbalance there created a whole problem of inflammation. Because what happens if you don't have enough omega-3 and people are going through the middle aisles of the grocery store and getting most of their foods, you're going to find that they're polyunsaturated fatty acids. And the worst thing you can do to those oils is to heat them up. They're rancid. And they last forever, but that doesn't mean it's good for you. And so you saw that discrepancy between omega-3 and omega-6. And you know what? I think is going to start coming where physicians, you know what? I'm not going to hold my breath, but I'm hoping that they actually are they can measure inflammation. All they have to do is take a CRP test, C-reactive protein. And people are walking around with this silent inflammation. They don't even know they have it. Because people think inflammation, they think pain. And that's true. But this is inflammation without infection. Inflammation without injury. It's happening on the inside of the body when you're taking way too much omega-6 versus the amount of omega-3 you consume. And you can test that too, by the way. You can test your omega-3 levels. Unfortunately, again, most physicians don't know the importance of omega-3 and the levels and how important that is inside your body. They don't know it because, again, they don't take nutrition. Now, most physicians, by the way, because they do some reading, will take a fish oil capsule. Most of them. I used to do courses for physicians. I used to be one of their speakers. And I did this. How many of you, there were about 250 doctors, physicians in the room. I said, how many of you recommend omega-3? Well, about 5 hands went up. I said, how many of you physicians take omega-3. And I'm telling you, the vast majority of the physicians took it, but they wouldn't give it, they didn't recommend it to their patients. I said, you bunch of hypocrites. Are you guys crazy? Do you know how good omega-3 is for you? Well, you do. You take it. Why aren't you recommending that to your patients? Well, it's not a medication. It hasn't been tested. Or why are you taking it then? Oh, there's a lot of research on it. Oh, okay. So that was yesterday. We talked about, medicine went into a paradigm shift. And they're into management, not prevention. And the cancer societies and the heart disease societies and whatever, they're all in on it. They do it the same way. And that is, let's detect cancer, not prevent it. Okay? And even through, what did I tell you guys through the virus? Okay? What did I tell you through that? Through the whole thing. I said, okay, medicine wants to treat the virus. I want you to protect your body from the virus. Okay? Get your immune system up to snuff. I have been consistent about that. Okay? Now, so what else has happened? Why were, again, fit as a fiddle in the 1970s, and today look at us. Look at our population. Look where we're at. Look at what's happening in the world today. It's crazy, especially in North America. It's worse than ever, our health. Imagine that. All the advancements that we've made. And yet we're sicker than ever. Okay, so let's talk about what happened in 1984. I've done this so many times. In the 1980s, in the 50s and the 60s, there was a switch in the oils. And the switch, people went from butter to margarine thinking that was better for them. True or false? Think of your parents. Think of that generation. Think of my generation. But all I can say is this, All I can say is this. What a big mistake that was. Imagine margarine instead of butter. That all has to do with the cholesterol craze. Limit your eggs. Limit them. How silly is that? People ask me that all the time. Dr. Martin, how many eggs should I eat? Well, I don't care. 100? Yeah. Eat till you're full. You don't need that much to be full if you're eating eggs and meat. Okay? So, here's another big factor that occurred. What have we seen that is so consistent in North America? Sugar was changed. In the 1980s, they went and Pepsi and Coca-Cola both did it, I think on the same day. They switched their sugars. They went from sugar, glucose, to fructose. High fructose corn syrup. And the results of that have been disastrous. Guys, metabolically, I don't know if there's anything worse for you than high fructose corn syrup. I talked to you about those seed oils. I talked to you about all those oils. But I don't think it's as bad as what's happened to our society today when we talk about sugar. Like, sugar has never been good for you, But when I was a little kid, Canadians and Americans consumed 25 pounds of sugar a year. Now it's a dump truck load, near 200 pounds. just gone way up. But the worst thing that happened in the 1980s that they flipped the sugar. Again, man, they think they're smart. So they said, we're going to switch nature, and because corn was subsidized by the governments, Canadian and American, it's cheap. The food industry said, we found ourselves a high fructose corn syrup. It's a syrup. And it goes directly to your liver. They didn't say that, but I said that. Because I know what fructose does. It acts just like alcohol. And alcohol, everybody knows this, goes directly to your liver. It don't pass go. Okay? It goes to your liver. It's metabolized in the liver. High fructose corn syrup is metabolized in the liver. Now, I've shown you studies in the past that shows that high fructose corn syrup ain't good for your gut either. As you're swallowing it, it's destructive. As it's making its beeline to the liver, very destructive to your microbiome. It really deranges your bacteria, and it feeds your bad guys and destroys your good guys. We didn't know that, but we know it now. Very destructive. But what it does to your metabolism, that fructose, high fructose corn syrup, is at the root of obesity. Why are people so big today? Why? Think about it. It's that fructose. What do bears do to get ready for the winter? They eat blueberries. Okay? We say don't feed the bears. Don't worry about a bear. It will find those berries and get ready for winter. And they're getting ready for hibernation, so it's fructose. And again, if you eat an orange, who cares? I don't care. You want to have an orange? Have an orange. But eat it, don't drink it. When I see people drinking fructose, what do you think Starbucks is? It's a candy shop. Starbucks is a candy shop unless you go in there like me and I'm just looking for a coffee. I'm just looking for a coffee. I want it black. I don't want any of their lattes. I see these kids and I'm ready to, oh, you're coming in, you're listening to Dr. Martin about the real vitamin C. Follow me. I'll bring you into McDonald's for a coffee. I'll bring you into Starbucks for a coffee. I'll bring you into Tim Hortons for a coffee. I'll bring you into Dunkin' Donuts for a coffee. Okay? Did I hit them all? But just have a coffee. The coffee is good. It's the only good things they have in there. Okay? And black. You can put some cream. Cream, not milk. But when you drink fructose, when you drink it, and remember, even when you're eating a granola bar that's got high fructose corn syrup in, you're really drinking it to some extent. Because high fructose corn syrup is liquefied in your body. It's a liquid. Yeah, it doesn't look like a liquid, but when you eat it, it acts like a liquid because it is. It's a syrup. It goes right to your liver. Why do we see there's a condition. It wasn't around in the 1970s, fit as a fiddle, that is now, okay, an epidemic. And I don't use that word lightly, guys. It is called NAFL. Okay? No. NAFLD. Sorry. Non-alcoholic fatty liver. See, when people drink, okay, drink alcohol, first step is fatty liver. But you don't detect that because unless you're doing, it might not even change your enzymes when you do a blood test. You can have fatty liver without even enzymes being gone south. But when people drink alcohol, they start a process of fatty liver that goes on to what? What does it go to if they don't stop drinking? Cirrhosis of the liver. Okay? That's what I studied in school. Okay? There was no such thing as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. There was no such thing. It wasn't even in our textbooks. What happened in the 1980s? High fructose corn syrup. People were might as well drink alcohol. Same thing, damages the liver, and today you got 2-year-olds with high fructose corn syrup liver. What happens in the liver don't stay in the liver. And because of what is going on right there in the liver, it is now being transferred to the rest of your body. Remember, diabetes doesn't start in the pancreas. Diabetes starts in the liver. Alzheimer's does not start in the brain. Alzheimer's starts in the liver. Cancer does not start in the cells as much. It does, but it's the process of the liver. And guys, heart disease, think about this. Heart disease is primarily a liver problem. What? It's primarily a liver problem because of the man's invention, okay? Man's invention. Man thinks they're smart, and they are, but they're not that smart. They found a sugar that was addictive, hooks you. The food industry are into hooking you. They hook you. Come here. I own you. You know how many people that the food industry have owned because they hook them with a sugar that is so sweet that if you, and I've seen this, I think you can actually watch it maybe on YouTube. I've seen this experiment where they give a rat, a laboratory rat, they give them a taste of high fructose corn syrup, and they put them in a maze, and the rat will do anything, including hurt themselves, to get back at that high fructose corn syrup. They're hooked. It's worse than cocaine, my friend. You know, it is. It's worse than cocaine because it creates a process in the liver that expands the liver. And when the liver gets full, fructose, remember the bear eats blueberries. It's going to sleep. It's going to hibernate. But when we eat high fructose corn syrup, okay, we get bigger and bigger and bigger. Again, you know my little expression, let's go to the mall together. And let's just sit down, we'll have a coffee, okay? If you ever see me in the mall, come and sit with me, okay? And we'll talk, but we'll observe with our eye. What are we going to see? We're going to see people that are huge. And we know what's happened. Isn't it interesting that the world doesn't know what's happened? Because the world, it's part of their duping of North America. Part of the deceit is calories. They're still talking calories. Calories in, calories out. So when you go to see a doctor, the only thing they know is, oh, you're big. You're eating too much. And you're moving not enough. That's not true. That's not true. One of the biggest problems is the sugar that people are consuming, the high fructose corn syrup. There's nothing that will pack on fat. It'll pack up the liver until the liver is full, and then it will make fat cells like no tomorrow. Most people have an enormous capacity to make fat cells. Most, not everybody. You can be skinny as a rake and be very unhealthy, by the way, because your liver is packed up with fat, but it doesn't show on the rest of your body. You can be very skinny and be very unhealthy, okay? So don't give yourself a high. I'm talking to generally to my audience, because you guys know better than this, okay? But we know that. It's not calories, okay? This whole obesity thing has been mismanaged. This is why, guys, the reset is so good for you. Because for 30 days, you're not having any high fructose corn syrup. None, nada, zero. Do you know your liver goes? Your liver is going, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're not feeding me that high fructose corn syrup for 30 days. What a change that makes in your metabolism. What a change that makes in the liver. Oh boy, that liver is so important. That is the nice thing about your liver is this though. Okay? The nice thing about your liver, there's no organ, and you see, God gave you a liver, and he gave that organ an ability to regenerate itself like none other. You can cut your liver, cut half of it out, it'll start growing again. Your liver is unreal, guys. But it don't get a lot of respect. It's a lot like Rodney Dangerfield, okay, of your organs. People don't talk about it enough. And yet we have a new scourge in our society today, high fructose corn syrup, that is very destructive to the liver, and the liver to the brain, liver to the heart, liver to your pancreas. Disaster. Liver to the kidneys. Disaster. Disaster. Okay. Why? I got two more. Okay. Let's just quickly do them. Two more. One. What's happened since the 1970s? What is missing today compared to what it used to be? Two vitamins. Vitamin D. 80% of the population today are walking around and they do not have enough vitamin D in their bodies. It's incredible. And if you're bigger, you even need more vitamin D. If you're darker, you even need more vitamin D. If you're, okay? Vitamin D, if you're, here's a statement that I've made in the past, and I'll say it again. If your vitamin D is low, you might as well be smoking. Okay? What? If your vitamin D levels are low, they're not optimized, you might as well be smoking. You know what smoking does? Cancer, heart disease, you name it, it'll kill you. We all agree that smoking's bad, right? Don't we? If you have low levels of vitamin D, and when I say you, I'm talking about your friends and your family. I know you know better, okay? Remember what Don Cherry said? You people. Okay? No, guys, if you have low levels of vitamin D, here's a blanket statement. You might as well be smoking. And everybody today medicine, big pharma, big food, and dietitians, and you name it. Vitamin D. Oh, I'm so scared you're going to get so much vitamin D. Oh, you're going to die from too much vitamin D. It's just the opposite. It's the opposite of that. And I've never been as passionate when I talk about a vitamin, maybe coffee, a vitamin like vitamin D. And 80% of the population are low in vitamin D, and no wonder we are so sick. It's crazy. And doctors, most, they don't even want to measure your vitamin D levels. And then the next one is B12. You knew I was going to say it. Again, 80 to 90% of the population have low levels of vitamin B12. They don't eat steak. They don't eat it. They don't eat enough of it. Red meat causes cancer. Right, Dr. Martin? Wrong. Stupid. B12, your brain don't work without B12. Your nerves don't work without B12. Your metabolism doesn't work without B12. It's hard to lose weight without B12. Your thyroid doesn't work without B12. B12, B12. I can't get over it how people are so, oh, Dr. Martin, my B12 is high. No, it's not. No, it's not. Anywho, I'll tell you, those are the main reasons that we're not fit as a fiddle. We're not fit as a fiddle. I want you to be fit as a fiddle. I like that expression. I hadn't used it in a while until I read that article. Okay, guys, we got a great week coming. Okay? Stay tuned. We love you so much. You have no idea. Thank you for the Doctors In podcast. Guys, you have no idea how much we appreciate you big time. We love you dearly, and we'll talk to you soon.